Hey, it's Chachki here. I'm going to be doing a recreation of my makeup look from Snatch Game episode, season 7 of RuPaul's Drag Race, the leather and lace runway. I'm super excited to do this. One of my favorite looks from the season. It was inspired by John Willie, this like fetish illustrator that I get a lot of inspiration from. I actually have a tattoo of his. So it's really important to me and my drag character for this look, so I'm excited to share it with you guys. So I'm going to take you from this to this. So the first step of this look is cutting your face shaving. The second step is going to be eyebrow coverage. So the first thing I like to do is glue my eyebrows down using a glue stick. I like to glue my eyebrows down first because you have to allow time for it to dry before you can put makeup all over, like on top of it. And I glue my eyebrows down so I can draw them kind of higher. I have like a really hooded eye as a guy, so I've always kind of been self-conscious about it, so I really want to like open up my eye and like create more space to kind of play and create like a socket and a hood and like all that kind of feminine eye shape. It kind of like expands your face too, so you kind of just look more proportional and kind of like more rounded. Because my brow is like really low and square, so it kind of like squares off my entire face, where if you want to like feminize your face, you want to make everything kind of round and soft. The next thing I usually do while that's drying is I start foundation and highlight. So I just use your typical drag, kind of cake it on stick. I like using a brush just because I think it is easier to blend. A lot of people use like, I think it's called a beauty blender. It's like a blending sponge. I like a brush. It feels more painterly, I guess, and I feel like it's a little bit more precise, and I kind of like that. And I'm going in with my highlight, and I'm just using, again, your basic drag kind of. And I've noticed this trend in makeup recently where like, I guess it's like an extreme beauty trend where, you know, you see like all the lines and you see the highlight and you see the contour and like, it's not super blended. Again, your basic drag kind of super white setting powder. And it kind of pops up the highlight a little bit more so it's not so muted. And then I go back over my eyebrows to like just really make sure they're smoothed out and like fully covered, since that first layer is kind of dry now. I'm gonna highlight my nose now. And again, I've been doing this thing recently where I'm like trying to be a little bit more subtle. I guess for the look I'm going for, I wasn't very subtle. I do my foundation, contour, highlight, and everything first, and then I do my eyes. I think the new way of doing it, or like the more modern way, I guess, is to do your eyes first and then do everything else around it. I guess because of fallout from shadows and that kind of thing. I mean, if you understand light and shadow, then you know, you can kind of look at someone's face and see what they did. I've been like popping this like highlighter on my nose on the sides to kind of like really define where my contour is gonna go. And I use a powder contour. I know a lot of people will do, again, that beauty blender thing and like do cream foundation, cream highlight, and cream contour and then blend it all together and it looks really seamless, but that's not what I do. So I'm using kind of like a neutral brown. It's actually is a contour palette. So it's designed to kind of be, I guess, the darkest kind of shade for my skin tone. So it kind of will look like a natural shadow. And I kind of put it I start it right above my, like right on my cheekbone, and I bring it kind of like down to my lip, which is what everyone does. But again, everyone recently like loves to have like a huge line right here that connects like the corner of your lip to like your cheekbone, and I hate it. I also contour my jawline a little bit just to kind of like get that, again, rounded out. And let it, what the old queens would call cook. So you kind of let it like, I guess, marinate? I don't know what it has to do with food, but you just let it kind of like set on your face. But I don't usually do that for too long. It's like a really old school term. Then I go in with some translucent powder and like really push it into my brow to absorb any like moisture. I like the glue stick because it's like for kids, so it comes off really easy and you don't have to like peel off your eyebrow with it. I think the main reason that I don't shave my eyebrows is because I want to get laid, and if you don't have eyebrows, it's kind of tricky to like, you just don't want to have to explain all this, have this conversation, and then drawing them on, like, and then making out with a guy and then having your eyebrow like come off on his face. Like, it's just not the look. It's not my brand. So I'm just using my paint stick to cover my eyebrows. It's just like that cakey makeup that every drag queen uses, you know. So it's basically like a real girl concealer, but we use it as foundation. So I'm just kind of blending everything together, which is the most important step, I think. So I'm just kind of like touching up my contour and highlight, making it perfect. So that was my contouring process. Now we get to start on the eyes. So now I'm gonna draw my eyebrows on. I usually just use like a cheap beauty shop lip liner, eyeliner, pencil, and I kind of like to do a brown and then set it with something. And then for this look, I'm gonna go over it with black eyeliner to really make it like graphic and pop. And I like my eyebrows like really arched because again, I'm like self-conscious about my hooded eyes. So I try to like make them big and pop and I don't really have any secrets to make sure my eyebrows are symmetrical. I just kind of start them where my natural brow would be and then kind of arch it out from there. And sometimes it works out perfectly and then sometimes it's like a little bit off. But in reality, everyone's eyebrows aren't symmetrical, so. I used to use like a stencil. I would have like these stencils that you can get at the beauty shop to kind of like map it out, but it never really works. I'm using a brow palette now to kind of go back in and set the liner that I just used and kind of like set it and make sure that it's the shape I want. And I'm gonna go back in underneath in a second and highlight with some more foundation and then highlight with some powder, and there's a whole process. I really like my eyebrows to be pretty sharp. I'm just kind of going back underneath and highlighting and kind of cleaning up the line under the brow to kind of just make it really sharp and perfected and really get that line. So I'm using a foundation again, but it's like that thick kind of concealer foundation. So I'm going back in and setting kind of the concealer I just put on with a super white, so it'll act as like a highlight. I'm just using liquid liner right now to kind of define my brow and get it really sharp and graphic looking. I kind of want to, my drag mom Dax actually told me that we don't want to actually look like women, we want to look like drawings of women. So you want it to look really graphic and like a little bit exaggerated. And I always like that. I always like the idea of looking kind of like the cartoon version of like what I would think would look like the ideal woman. So and I like an ombre brow, which is like another drag trend, but it's that darkest in the corner and then it kind of blends into your skin tone. I just think it looks natural and kind of graphic and clean. I don't know, I don't like it kind of floating. I almost like crosshatch. If any of you guys are artists out there, that's kind of like how I paint my brows on, is like cross-hatching towards the ombre part, so it kind of like lightens up a little bit. I did a picture the other day of my eyebrow, like I have this picture on my Instagram of my eyebrows like really strong like this, and someone photoshopped like an eagle in the middle, and these were the eagle wings. It was so funny. It's so funny when you mess up on your makeup, you just like make the line bigger. Sometimes you fuck up so much it's just like huge eyeliner and huge eyebrows. Just kind of blending that highlight down, taking it down a little bit so it's not so contrasted. Everyone says I always look so angry because of my eyebrows, and I guess that's why I draw them like this. That resting bitch face look is like kind of my go-to. So now I'm starting my eyeliner. I kind of like to draw like the flicks first so that I can kind of get them symmetrical and going in like a similar direction. It's not always going to be like amazingly symmetrical, like that's totally not symmetrical at all. And I do this really fun trick. So I keep talking about my hooded eyelids. So what I do with my eyeliner, which is something that I've learned, it's like the formula for my face. Like I have to kind of do my face like this or else it just doesn't look like me. Is I put my eyeliner on, then I blink, and then it kind of like, I guess transfers to my hooded lid, and that's like where I draw my eyeliner. So if you watch, it's really weird what I do, but it works. So I kind of like draw my eyeliner a little sloppy, and then I blink like that. So then that crease is like where my liner like starts and stops, if that makes sense. So I always set like anything liquid or cream with powder, so that includes my eyeliner. So I use this really great black powder to set everything. So then I fill like all of this in. I usually get ready like butt naked with music blaring, so this is like a little different for me. And so it kind of like looks like I just covered basically my entire lid with black eyeliner, but it just looks like a regular like cat eye. Now I'm gonna go in and start to cut my crease with some eyeshadows. It's so much fun. And I think for this look, I just kept it pretty neutral. So I use this like cream eyeshadow for my lid, or what I'm making my lid. But I put powder on top of it, so it like pops even more. So it's like super pigmented. Doing my white waterline right now, which helps like open up the eye again. Right now I'm doing kind of, I like to extend my eyeliner like in my tear duct, so it kind of like just finishes the eye. I hate when drag queens like just kind of leave a bunch of highlight right there and don't have like something to ground it, I guess. So I like to kind of add a line right there to just extend the eye, make it bigger. I feel like a lot of queens just like leave it like blank right there, and I feel like it really bothers me actually when people do that. And then I'm doing my bottom eyeliner as well. Gorgeous. So now that my eyes are almost done, I'm gonna move on to some blush and then some lips. I just kind of do a little bit of blush over my contour and I'll blend it in. And then I like to outline my lips, and I do my lips like I really like them to look kind of 30s or 40s, so I like them to be really small on the outside and really big on the middle. So I just kind of exaggerate that and kind of draw it in on the outside and out on the inside. And I even like to set my lip liner with some eyeshadow just to kind of really get that line perfect. So now it's time for lashes. I'm a one lash kind of girl. And I actually use Weave Bond for to put my lashes on. It's like so bad for you. It's like a big no-no, but. I'm beautiful. So I'm putting on my liquid to matte lipstick that I like. I like things to look matte. Since I overdrew my lip, like my natural lip could catch the light, like the line, if there's like a shine on it. So I like to use matte so that everything is kind of like a flat color and it just kind of looks like a shape as opposed to like dimension, if that makes sense. I always put a beauty mark here. I just always have done it. I think any kind of glamour girl ever has always had like some sort of imperfection or beauty mark on her face, and so I definitely wanted to have one, and I guess this is like a Monroe. It's kind of the placement that I chose. But for this look, I also put one over here for some reason. I guess like during Drag Race, it would just like move around, and now I'm like, this is where it's gonna go forever. This is my face. Now time for hair and accessories. So I went ahead and prepped my hair for my bang piece and my ponytail, and now I'm gonna finish up finishing touches with a little bit of mascara to kind of blend my lashes in and fill in the lower lash line. And then we'll be ready for the hair pieces and accessories. Gorgeous. I like ponytails too because they really like give you a little lift, you know? So this is actually just gonna be a bang piece and a drawstring ponytail that I'm just kind of pinning into my actual hair. I kind of like to do a bang piece because I don't really like these like it's like very squared off, so I try to round that out or cover it up with something, but I like using my real hair because it kind of gives you that nice lift. And this look was all about like pony play, and I came out with like a bit in my mouth, so I kind of thought the ponytail was appropriate. I like the ombre too, because there's that whole contrasty like black and white that I have going on with my lid. Gorgeous. So this is a look from season 7, Snatch Game episode, Leather and Lace Runway. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I really enjoy this look. It's one of my favorites to do, and I'll see you guys later.
Hey, squirrel friend. When one video ends, just open up another one. It's called binge viewing. Go ahead. I support you.